What? Who? What? What? Ah! I thought it was him because he said, "What?" Wait, what? What just happened? Oh. Oh. Okay. What the fuck? That was really weird, Emma, but, here we are. Don't quit your day job. That was just odd. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Someone had to come dig you all out of the mess you're making out of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted in science a little more. Take an interest in science, Jake. Anyway, it'd be really funny if I ended the video as soon as Kristoff shows up, and it's like a huge cliffhanger, and then the beginning of the next video, oh, it was just Emma. Should I do that? I don't know if I should do that. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. I've referenced The Room and The Happening in this recording session. I don't know why, I'm just got like horrible movies on the brain, but they're both hilarious movies, unintentionally. That's right, the poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. Spray that bitch. Oh, hip, hip. Got it. Thanks, Kristoff, Emma. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's a troquinine residue. I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past? Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last. So maybe it wasn't intended for him? Because doesn't it say, just put the enclosed stamp? No, it does say use it, didn't it? So who knows? Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. What, has he always been a recluse? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Okay, I was gonna say, like... Never mind. Why didn't this murder take place? That's what I asked before. Like, maybe it was supposed to. Well, if he figured it out, did he really make that huge of a mistake in forgetting it now and accidentally licking that stamp? Figured what out? And why would he keep it? Why would he keep the stamp? Why didn't he throw it away? Unless he really did want to fucking kill himself. Like, oh, I'll keep this around in case I ever need it. He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame. He wanted to keep it as evidence in case he needed it. Why did he lick it? He just forgot in the heat of the moment? You're still... I was just about to say, I kind of forgot about him. He hasn't been relevant for a little while. No. Razortooth? No.
By sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote. Maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay.
I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife, end quote.
Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo, I think we just won.
Very well, this court finds the defendant. Oh, god damn it. I was like, are we actually going to get her clear this early? There's no way. And sure enough, no. Fuck you. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor, Gavin. A ticklet. Why did I say ticklet? I thought it said ticklet. A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gaviner's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Airforehead's claim. The fact that he probably wouldn't have licked the stamp if he knew that it was poison. Whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then, well, yeah. I don't like the fact that you've done this, but... You know, I can't believe you've done this, but... You are bringing up all the same things that I'm thinking, so I can't really argue. Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Might have been a sacrifice, like, shit, I gotta do it. I gotta die here and now to finally take care of and arrest the person who's doing this to me. I don't know. Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself? It's a little silly. I do have to say, it is kind of cool for the prosecutor to bring up all the things that I bring up. Maybe I should be the prosecutor instead. Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly like every time they're like, okay, present your evidence, I'm always like, I have no fucking idea. But then when we need a moment like that, I'm always like, but, and I point out exactly what Clavier is going to point out. I'd be better on the prosecution side, apparently. That had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo! I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you. Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. What about this atroquinine residue, huh? Oh, I agree, that does seem to be atroquinine residue. But her forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all. Well, I believe we've come to a what the wrong voice. I believe we've come to a conclusion again. Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence. What? Who's gonna help me? Somebody help me. Gumshoe. Please. Your Honor. Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope, an envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Can we just call the post office? Even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. No, we're right, I just don't know how to prove it. That's why I feel like somebody has to help me. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. What? A fake clue? Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? A fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail. What the hell? Oh my god. Drew Misham is definitely the most interesting of those three answers, which makes me really want to say him. Not only that, but I don't understand how the other ones could be fake. I don't understand how he could be either, but that's a really interesting. Again, it's good that they didn't leave this totally up to me. Like, you can't present profiles in this game anyway. But, you know, this could be the kind of thing where, if you could, you just have all your evidence in your profiles, and I would never think to present Drew Misham, so it's good that he's one of the options, and that option stands out so much. I'm gonna pick it. The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug, linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. His hair was really weird. Nobody understands it. Doesn't make any sense. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. Spark Brush'll gotta be happy about that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah! I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? What does that mean? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. Is he not dead? 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? I don't know. That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake, so he's not really dead. Did the real one die 7 years ago, or is he still alive? Is that why he's been reclusive? Because he's been a fake this whole time? But apparently he's been reclusive the whole time. Like his whole life. Right? No? If he only started becoming famous 7 years ago, maybe that's when he started becoming reclusive. Huh. What the fuck? I never could have seen this coming. This is crazy. How are you going to prove this? One forger smelled the trap, one forger fell into the trap. What the fuck? That's why his hair is different on both sides. Symbolism to show that there's two of them. I get it. I don't know. I have no idea. This is crazy. Good job coming to that conclusion, Apollo. If he was the fake, who was the real forger? You'd better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. I don't know how I'm going to do that. God damn it. I have to. Please give me like an obvious question. His daughter? I did say before that maybe she's the one who does the paintings. But then we found out they're forgeries. Maybe she does the forgeries. What does that mean? What? I'm confused. The real... Okay, but what does that mean? Like, it's her, but I have many questions. There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Okay. Uh-huh. Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you. I kinda agree. I mean, Vera, a forger? We don't know anything about her. She's never spoken. Why do you think she can't be a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. That's because she was not a forger then. Because she was a little girl. I guess. Hold on. My brain hurts. What are you talking? I need detailed explanation. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio: Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well, so she was the one who got that letter and put the stamp there? Is that what it's supposed to be? So he didn't know about it? Okay. I guess that's what it's supposed to be? 7 years ago she was a forger? How old is she? Vera Misham? This is very odd. You've been paying attention to the trial so far? I did not expect this to go in this direction. Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fraulines, believe me. Though they usually talk to me, too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. Okay, so the forger Drew Misham was you? Yes. What is that? Whatever. What? What? She looks kind of tiny. The court was in an uproar and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Okay, shit. Yeah, I did not expect that turn of events. I still don't fully understand all the details. And I don't know where we're going with this. I have a lot of questions still. Okay, so where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. Well, then who was he? Well, he was actually doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Alright, do we have to go through this every time I'm going to ask her a question? Yes. For Father. I know, it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But, in the end, it didn't even matter. Forgeries. I've never had a good constitution, nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. I guess she has the one little curly hair below her eye. It's kind of cool. Nice touch. Now, because of me, Father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already you were already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So she's 19. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... So when she was 12, she knew that somebody was out to kill her? Shit. Right, out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. Yeah, what about that shit? You did that. What about the stuff underneath? Did you do that? Right, see, we checked them out, and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice? Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information. Why? What the fuck? Was he some kind of undercover agent like in the 3rd case? But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business... I mean, because he was connected to the case 7 years ago, right? So that's why, I guess? This is weird. He was very pleased. Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? I don't think he's anybody's daddy. Like, they brought this up before, like, what if he was Apollo's father? What if he's Phoenix's father? If he ends up being one of our fathers, that's gonna be really weird. What if he's your father? What if he's fucking Zach Grimari? That's actually not entirely impossible. Shit. We'll see. Probably not, though. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. Okay. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. If he ends up being Zach Grimari, I'm gonna shit, because that'd be so funny that I threw that out there. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea where this is going at all. But I think I'm gonna end it right here. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.